Jaden Christopher Sire Smith, though widely recognized as the son of Hollywood icons Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, has a life and story far richer than just being the offspring of celebrity parents. Behind the glitz and glam of red carpets and blockbuster premieres lies a complex family dynamic that has, over the years, captured public fascination and stirred significant controversy. Jaden's relationship with his parents, especially with his mother Jada, is layered with both deep affection and underlying tension, shaped in part by the intense public scrutiny that the Smith family has never shied away from. The Smith family is known for its remarkable transparency regarding their personal lives. Whether discussing the dynamics of their marriage or their parenting philosophies, Will and Jada have shared more with the public than many celebrities would dare. This openness has been celebrated by some for its honesty and criticized by others for oversharing. At one point, the discourse around the Smiths became so intense that a frustrated individual named Dexter Morales launched a petition to stop Will and Jada from publicly airing their personal lives. Surprisingly, the petition gathered over 5,000 signatures, a testament to how overwhelmed some members of the public had become with the couple's revelations. But neither Will nor Jada seemed fazed. They continued to use platforms like Red Table Talk to dissect their lives, believing that sharing their struggles might help others. Despite the frequent controversies, the Smiths are undoubtedly a family of extraordinary talent. Will, a globally successful actor and rapper, has long been a leading figure in Hollywood. Jada has forged her path as an actress, producer, and host. Their children, Jaden and Willow, have also carved out unique careers in music, acting, and fashion. However, with fame comes relentless scrutiny, and the Smith children have not been immune to the ripple effects of their parents' fame and choices. Perhaps the most dramatic scandal to ever shake the Smith household came in 2020 when R&B singer August Alsina publicly claimed he had been romantically involved with Jada Pinkett Smith. In an interview with The Breakfast Club, August revealed that his relationship with Jada lasted for years and, most shockingly, that Will Smith had given his blessing for the affair. "I totally gave myself to that relationship," August said, expressing a deep love and devotion to Jada. His candid account stunned fans and ignited an explosion of media coverage. What had long been speculated about the Smiths' unconventional marriage now had a name and a face. The situation grew even messier when people learned how August Alsina came into the Smith family circle. He wasn't just a random acquaintance, he was initially Jaden Smith's friend. It was through Jaden's friendship that August met the rest of the Smith family. This added a deeply personal and uncomfortable twist to the scandal. The public reaction was fierce, with some blaming Jaden for unwittingly introducing August into his mother's life. Social media exploded with opinions. One Twitter user bitterly joked, "It's all Jaden Smith's fault. I was minding my own business till he brought August Alsina home. That's how the entanglement began." Another observer remarked on the strange circumstances, tweeting, "This Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith situation is too complicated. The fact that Jaden Smith is Alsina's friend makes it worse." Jada later confirmed some of these details during an episode of Red Table Talk. She explained that August became close to the family when he was struggling with health issues, and her initial intention was to help him heal. "I guess about 4.5 years ago, we started a friendship with August, and we actually became really good friends," Jada explained. According to her, their bond deepened over time and eventually became romantic. Interestingly, neither Jaden nor Willow publicly addressed the scandal. But fans speculated that Jaden's actions spoke louder than words. In September 2020, a few months after the scandal dominated headlines, Jaden appeared on Apple Music with Zane Lowe and revealed he would no longer use his last name publicly, choosing to be known simply as Jaden. While he didn't connect this decision to his family drama, many speculated that he was attempting to distance himself from the Smith name. For Jaden, it wasn't the first sign of wanting to separate his identity from his family's legacy. Years earlier, when he was just 15, Jaden reportedly asked to be emancipated from his parents. The news shocked many, including Will and Jada. In a 2018 episode of Red Table Talk, Jada reflected on that difficult moment. "It's probably one of the most heartbreaking moments of my life," she admitted. Will also opened up about it in his memoir, writing, "At 15 years old, when Jaden asked about being an emancipated minor, my heart shattered." In the end, Jaden chose not to legally emancipate himself, but the emotional distance was palpable. Initially, when August's claims hit the news, the Smith family denied them. A representative called the allegations absolutely not true when contacted by Page 6. But public pressure and endless speculation pushed Jada to confront the rumors directly. On August 2nd, 2020, she teased an upcoming Red Table Talk episode, where she promised to set the record straight. In that now viral episode, watched by over 32 million people on Facebook, Jada and Will finally address the situation. They revealed that at the time of Jada's involvement with August, they had quietly separated. "We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy," Will explained. This separation was key context that had not been shared publicly before. While they remained legally married and neither had filed for divorce, they were, for all practical purposes, living separate lives. Jada admitted that during this separation, she found herself in what she famously called an entanglement with August Alsina. Will pushed back on her choice of words, pressing her to acknowledge that what she had was, in fact, a romantic relationship. The candid exchange between the couple fascinated viewers worldwide. Though the word entanglement became a cultural meme, the raw honesty of their conversation left many reflecting on the complexities of long-term relationships. Despite the scandal and public humiliation, Will and Jada's marriage survived. They seemed to emerge from the chaos with a stronger bond, publicly supporting each other's growth and healing journeys. But for their children, especially Jaden, the emotional toll is harder to measure. From his attempts to separate his identity from the family name to his earlier desire to be emancipated, it's clear that Jaden has long struggled to find his own space outside his parents' massive shadow. Jaden's career, much like his parents, has been marked by creativity and individuality. As an actor, he made a name for himself in films like The Karate Kid and The Pursuit of Happiness. As a musician and fashion icon, he has challenged traditional norms, pushing boundaries with his gender-fluid fashion choices and experimental music. But beyond his artistic accomplishments, Jaden has often used his platform to advocate for mental health awareness, environmental sustainability, and social justice. His philanthropic efforts, such as launching the I Love You food truck to provide vegan meals to the homeless, show a young man who is determined to use his influence for good. Still, growing up in a family that constantly makes headlines for its unconventional ways can't be easy. Even before the entanglement scandal, the Smiths were often criticized for their parenting approach, which allowed Jaden and Willow to express themselves freely from a young age. Critics questioned whether this freedom came at the cost of emotional stability. Yet, Will and Jada have always defended their parenting choices, believing in raising children who can think and act independently. The story of Jaden Smith is ultimately a story of resilience. He has navigated the challenges of being born into extraordinary fame, contending with the public's opinions about his family's choices while trying to carve out his own path. Whether it's dropping his last name or distancing himself from his family's controversies, Jaden's actions reflect a young man in search of his true self. In a world obsessed with celebrity drama, it's easy to forget that behind the headlines are real people grappling with very real pain and confusion. For Jaden, the journey has been messy, complicated, and public. Yet, it's also been one of growth and self-discovery. Like his parents, he is learning in real time, with the whole world watching. As the Smith family continues to share their lives with the public, it's clear their story is far from over. They remain one of Hollywood's most fascinating and talked about families. And while the world debates their choices, Jaden, in his quiet yet bold way, seems determined to write his own story on his own terms.